Alrighty guys, we are back with what is potentially going to be the very last looking forward into the future kind of video, because we're going to be caught up to the Japanese version extremely soon. I would honestly bet that maybe a little bit after the new year, we're going to be completely caught up to the Japanese version. Because with things like the debut deal that release, bam, here's 5 medals in a row, right after the other, well sorry, literally at the exact same time. We are racing towards the Japanese version at a rapid rate. So I thought, okay, let's do the final one of these where we sort of look forward into the future for the kind of medals that are still going to be coming out. Unfortunately, that mostly is going to be High Squad Challenge medals, VIP medals, and a couple of pullable medals, because there are really only a few left. So we're going to skip over a couple of medals that we sort of already skipped over in the past and were just never released here. I actually did talk about a lot of them in the previous Book of Prophecies video. Anyway, I'm getting way ahead of myself. Let's sort of skip ahead and... Well, so obviously massive spoiler warning if you do care about that sort of thing. Even though we've already talked about one of the key medals before, but we'll get to that in a second. Anyway guys, I will see you really soon. Alrighty, so the first few medals I'm going to talk about are all going to be probably High Squad Challenge and Damage Contest rewards. Fresh off the bat, right behind Valiform Genie is going to be the speed and power equivalent of Valiform Genie, which is the limited version of Jack Skellington, as well as Hercules. It is called Hercules B. Whereas Valiform Genie raised your magic-based strength by 7 tiers for 1 turn. These guys do your speed and power respectively. They're single hit medals with that horrendous 19.80 multiplier at max guild. If you have all the dots behind them, it's times 6.60, I believe. Which again, if you times that by 3 effectively, because it's a tier 7 that can be maxed out to 200 goddamn %, it's with a 19.80 multiplier. And I can tell you from experience, being lucky enough to pick up a Genie and being able to guild it, that thing is... it's so stupidly strong. I don't even have a skill on mine just yet. I don't even have it at max guilded. Mine's only at like 150% guild. And I'm sitting at about top 4,000 in Colosseum right now. It's absolutely stupid how broken it is. It's great, good fun. The buffs aren't really super important, again, because, well, we'll talk about that in a bit. But they're very nice to be there, don't get me wrong. So again, High Squad Challenge rewards. Let's move on real quickly to more High Squad Challenge rewards. Whereas those guys were all single target, these guys are all like, area of effect medals, what do you call it? All target medals. They're very similar. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention. Those ones cost 7 gauges and restore 3, so do these ones and so do the next ones. So we have again a magic, a power, and a speed version, being Illustrated Halloween Town Donald, Illustrated Halloween Town Goofy, and Aladdin and the Magic Carpet. I was trying to make a joke there, but I'm not funny. Basically, they have a pretty nice multiplier of 13.59 when you fully max it out. Again, they are tier 7s that can be raised to 200 friggin %. So very nice damage dealing medals. Nothing super important to talk about here. I don't believe they carry any sort of buffs with them. But they're definitely nice to have, and yeah, nothing much else to it. Okay, so this is a little bit different. For Atlantica Music, King Trident is out already, and one could hypothesize, given that we have Valiform Genie straight out of Agrabah, a Jack Skellington medal and a Hercules medal, Disney World, another Halloween Town Sora, Donald and Goofy straight out of Disney World, and again Aladdin, and again a person from Atlantica. Again, what I'm trying to say is they're all pretty important characters out of Disney Worlds, so it wouldn't be too much of a stretch to imagine perhaps there will be some sort of Peter Pan medal from, a representative from Neverland, perhaps like an Alice medal or a Queen of Hearts medal to represent Wonderland, or some sort of early, Kingdom Hearts 1 world. Again, I'm not saying it's going to be Queen of Hearts or even Peter Pan for that matter, but it could be. You never know. You never know. The only reason why it's probably not going to be Queen of Hearts is because all of them have been heroic characters, so to speak, and King Triton here, well, all of them have been upright medals, for example, whereas the Queen of Hearts is typically represented with a reverse medal. But anyway, who knows what it could be? It could be like Tinkerbell, it could be anything. This is a random target medals, so the random target medals, in terms of multiplier, are a step above even single target medals, just because they can be shared between, they deal a lot of damage output, but overall the damage is a little bit less compared to I don't know, if you have like an all-target medal that could potentially do more damage in that turn because it's doing a lot of damage to multiple enemies, whereas a single target medal is going to do a lot of damage just to one. A random target medal could do a little bit of damage to lots of enemies, or a shitload of damage to one. And that 21.90 represents that. Again, if you're versing just one enemy, you're doing even more damage than friggin' Genie, and Genie does a crap load. So these are very, very nice medals to have. Now, I will definitely say, this is very important, you don't want to try and aim for all of these. In fact, if you want to be a really, really, really powerful free-to-play player, it might be worth saving up and just going for one or two of them. Take Valiform Genie for example. I hadn't pulled for a month. Kind of my own fault, I just didn't have time to play it, but I had not pulled for a month. I missed out on all the foretellers, I missed out on all the Dual Wield Roxas EX, all that good stuff. But that meant that I had lots of jewels to spend on just one banner, and again it was a very, very good banner because every single pull gave me more percentage towards the high score challenge, but it was an amazing banner that got me top 1000 for the very, very first time ever in a high score challenge, which meant that I had a super duper powerful nuke of a medal as my reward. It might be worth doing that. Again, your game, you play it however you want. But if you see a banner that you think, people probably aren't going to pull for this one, it's not a really good banner, but it does award points towards this one's high score challenge, and you say, okay, maybe not King Triton because everyone's going to go for that, but maybe the one just after him where everybody's broke. If it's, let's say, a speed version of King Triton comes out, and you know, everybody's probably broke right now because tons of people went for King Triton, maybe that's the banner that I'll focus on. And again, I'm saying this, which means that people could be doing it. You have to pick your own. It could be one of these three for all you want to do. Do whatever you want to do is what I'm trying to say. But if you saved up a lot of jewels and just went really, really hard on one banner, it could end up paying off for you. Again, I'm not saying that it definitely will, because the Valiform Genie one, for example, I got very lucky with my pulls. I got a nice diversity of medals, and a percentage medal was guaranteed in every single pull, which hasn't happened in quite a while. Again, you play the game however you want. I'm just saying that's some potential advice you might want to take. Interestingly though, we may not ever see this Jack medal, and I'll talk about that right now. Okay, if you've been noticing the Japanese version at all, you may notice that there were medals like Oogie Boogie and Lock, Shock and Barrel. There were copycat medals that just never came out here, and well, it made the field cup a lot more difficult, just for one thing. I'm not even going to pretend to understand it, but from my very, very limited knowledge, I believe there's some sort of deal where the global version of Square Enix NA, cannot profit from the imagery from the Nightmare Before Christmas movie. So that includes like the characters of Jack Skellington, all of that kind of good stuff. Which is why we missed out on the high score challenge that featured those medals. When the high score challenge reprint banner came out, we didn't see the Jack and Sally medal or the Zero medal popping up. We didn't see any of that. So given that the Jack limited version and the Jack limited version is a high score challenge medal, this one here was just from its own regular banner. We may never see those because, again, we've missed out on a lot of stuff related to Halloween Town. I'll mention it just in case, but just be aware that we may never see this. And we may also never see the Jack as well, but let's talk about it anyway. This is a really, really unique medal because it's the only medal that was guaranteed to have a skill on it when you did pull for it. It's a brand new unique skill. It's called like Nightmare Stun or something like that. Basically, it's like an attack boost 5 max combined with the paralysis rolled into one medal. It's really, really cool. So the paralysis isn't guaranteed to affect the enemy. Again, it's only a single target medal. It has like a decreasing chance the higher and higher the enemy's level goes, like all paralysis, all status medals. And by the time you hit level 2000, the percentage is down to quite literally 0. So enemies level 1999 and below can be affected by it, but when you're getting up towards the 1999 part, it's very, very rare that it's ever going to trigger. But nonetheless, it's worth mentioning. The multiplier, you can see, is very, very powerful as well. It's a single target medal that can hit for 19.56 potentially, if and only if the enemy is paralyzed. Otherwise, if they aren't paralyzed, it reverts back to that 14.04, again at the max 200% guilt. It drops all the enemy's power-based, the single enemy that you're hitting, its power-based defense by 7 tiers for the 1 turn, and also gives you a +2 to the counter, which again is a unique effect because no other counter-affecting medal raises it by 2 yet. A very, very cool and a very unique medal, but again, we may never see this just because of the weird relationship that Cena has with the Nightmare Before Christmas movie and its associated properties. Anyway, let us move on. Alrighty, so we've got 2 medals here that we will probably rush over pretty fast in our version of the game. simply because they're not bad by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, they're a lot like Final Form Sora and 358 over 2 Days Riku. They're almost exactly like that medal. The only difference is Square Enix is trying to rush us towards the Japanese version as quickly as possible, and these guys are not, you know, they're not EX medals, they're not incredible. They will most likely be shoved aside in order to rush us towards the next EX medal, which means they could be like Mercy medals associated with an EX banner. It could be like, you know, pull 5 times, pull 10 times. You'll be guaranteed one of these two. You know, who knows? It could be anything, but I'll tell you real quickly. They are all area of effects, all target hitting medals. Pete raises your reverse power by 1 tier for 1 turn, and Leon does it for does your upright for 1 tier for 1 turn. Leon's really good in slot 6. It's quite literally his multiplier is based on you being either in slot 6 or not. And Pete is different. Pete is a lot like the other medals, where the further back into the Keyblade he goes, the more powerful he is. The multipliers are decent. They're nothing to write home about. Well, in fact, they're exactly like Final Form Sora and Limit Form Riku for Black Coat Riku from Days for Leon. And Pete is a little bit different. It's a little bit weaker. Again, not bad medals, but I think they will literally rush them straight out of the way in order to get towards, you know, more EX medals, and then whatever comes out in the future beyond that. Speaking of EX medals, alright, you all knew this one was coming. So we have Illustrated Xion EX. She's still not here in our version yet, but I would expect that to change very, very, very soon. I would expect her to be out, if not by Christmas, then by New Year's, but very, very soon. You know, the King Mickey HD banner ends in a couple days. I think this is exactly what's going to replace it. Again, we don't know that for sure, but it could be very, very likely that it's her. The reason I say that is because they always seem to like having an EX banner in the shop. I can't remember the last time we didn't have an EX banner in the shop, to be quite honest. So it's either going to be one of these two that replaces her, it replaces Mickey, if that is the case, and my money's on Xion, to be perfectly honest. Again, it could be saying, anyway. So, what does Illustrated Xion do? Everything. Absolutely everything. Friggin' 7 tiers of strength, 3 tiers of general defense down, full PSM up to +6, and PSM defense of the enemies down to -4. Gives you +2 reverse strength, as well as adding 1 to the counter of all the enemies, giving you 5 gauges back and giving you a heal. She is quite literally a dark-haired version of Illustrated Kairi EX. It's, you know, Illustrated Xion EX. It makes perfect sense, and yeah, definitely an incredible medal to have. However, the reverse buff is nice, but I don't think it's worth chasing if you already have Kairi EX. If you want to have her, go for her. She's such an incredible medal, and having her and Kairi will give you that little bit more diversity, and let you, well, if you want to really match the Keyblade slots up, then you can do that, I suppose. If you want to have a nice reverse medal sitting in the reverse medal slot, go for your life. It makes complete sense. Again, if you missed out on Kairi EX, this is probably what you've been saving for since that time. I don't blame you, and I really hope really hope that you get her. Honestly, if you don't have Kairi, and you missed out on her 2 times, like, for no fault of your own, you saved up, didn't do anything wrong, you saved up, spent on the Kairi Falling Price deal, didn't get her, spent on the second Kairi Falling Price deal, didn't get her. Honestly, genuinely, my heart really goes out to you, because that sucks. That's really, 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 really sucky. And again, I really hope that you get Illustrated Xion. It's worth noting, though, that if you do, because statistically there will be people that will miss out on Kairi again, and then Xion. They will miss out on 3 in a row. It's worth pointing out that the Japanese version has had a reprint of Illustrated Kairi with a mercy pool associated with it. Again, it's a very, very high mercy pool associated with it, but it's a mercy, it's guaranteed. So, as heartbreaking as it is, watching, again, the few lucky souls that will do 2 pulls on Kairi and get her, and then we'll do 2 pulls on Xion again, and then get her as well. As heartbreaking as that's going to be to watch, it might be worth missing out on her banner entirely, and just going, okay, I'm going to suffer for a couple more months, or however long it takes for there to be a Kairi reprint banner with a mercy associated, and I'm going to get her then. That could be the way to go if you're feeling particularly unlucky. We've talked enough about the friggin' buffs that Kairi gives and Xion gives, so let's move right on to Illustrated Ventus getting the shit kicked out of him. It's Master Xehanort EX. It's a pretty nice, it's a very, very cool looking medal, to be perfectly honest. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's got the the cutscene freeze frame literally directly out of the Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix Secret movie. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. +2 reverse strength, +7 magic strength, -2 general defense, and -2 magic base defense. Very, very nice, but again, the thing is, if everyone's running around with that girl up there or her red-headed friend, what do you need any more buffs for? Literally, you might benefit from the +2 reverse, but yeah, not that much. Again, the multiplier is quite nice, but it isn't that high, to be perfectly honest. Like, for an EX medal, whose main draws used to be the buffs, I would have thought they would have done something about their multipliers, given that this thing is running around now. The multiplier is decent, but it's not amazing. We'll just leave it at that, though. Again, it's a beautiful medal, and I love Fate of the Unknown, the song that was just playing, and this medal comes with it, so it's almost worth it for that alone. Again, a very, very nice medal, but I think we'll move on to, again, a free-to-play based channel. This is, it's who I am with a free-to-play account, but it's worth pointing out the VIP medals just in case, especially the one on the very end. Let's go through these really quickly. Key Art 14, right up there. In the nicest possible way, it's garbage. I would definitely not break the bank, and I definitely would not break being free-to-play to go for it. Maybe garbage is a bit harsh, but it's got a really low multiplier, pretty garbage buffs, to be perfectly honest, and yeah, I certainly wouldn't be breaking free-to-play to pick it up. Chicken Little's a little bit better. It's more of a defensive medal that lowers the enemy's strength by 2 tiers. It's not awful, definitely not awful, but HD Zexion is running around now, which we just had, and it's now in the pool system. I think HD Zexion is probably a better medal that deserves a slot a little bit more on your Keyblade as a defensive medal. Yeah, I don't know. Again, if you're a VIP that picks up all the VIPs anyway, then you know what? You've got more diversity in your medals. Let's move on to Sora and Friends Toon version over there on the Magic Carpet. Very, very nice artwork. I really like that. Straight out of the manga. It's really, really, really cool looking. It does some pretty decent buffs, but again, I'm not really I'm not a VIP paying for player, so I'm kind of going to skip over it really quickly. Just to mention that Toon rocks this version over there, Bloody Santa Claus over there. That is an extremely, extremely, extremely good medal. An extremely good medal. It's only single target, but even still, it gives you a crapload of buffs that would almost rival Illustrated Shion, Illustrated Kairi. It gives you +7 strength, +7 power, speed, and magic. It's really, really excellent. It gives you +1 upright strength as well. You know how I keep saying that a lot of medals are like, yeah, the buffs are really good, but we're already at the cap anyway, so what's the point? He's the kind of medal that is like, okay, I give you a ton of buffs, but I don't give you any debuffs. So it almost makes the other medals better by association, if that makes sense. Anyway, if you miss out on Kairi, you miss out on Shion, and you're just really, really pissed off, this is pretty much the medal for you. And as like crappy as that kind of makes me feel to say it, it is kind of the medal for you, because it's a guarantee. You pay your 15 bucks, you pay whatever it is in your local currency, you have it, it's guaranteed. It's not as good as Illustrated Shion, Illustrated Kairi, but it's pretty friggin' close. It is really, really, really good. And again, you just have to work on getting some debuffs out there at that point. But when you have medals that lower, 3 tiers of general defense, and you have all this kind of good stuff running around, it isn't that hard to do that anymore. Again, you have, these boys right here, for example, are really, really nice ways of lowering general defense down. Anyway, so that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about, because that's pretty much it. The only thing that's coming out that we haven't, that's coming out that we're kind of due for and was kind of late is this guy right here. So we're finally, I believe, getting the Dalmatians medals. You're going, what are the Dalmatians medals? Well, at the time, I was very excited about these guys because I was like, hey, guess what? We have a medal that can finally restore gauges for us. And we have these wonderful things called traits coming out soon too. If you get extra attack on this medal, then you get like +8 gauges back for free. How cool is that? And then it didn't come out. And I was like, okay, that's weird. I guess Illustrated KH2 Kairi is a really, really good deal then. It gives you 10 gauges anyway. You know what? Maybe I'm the reason that this medal... I'm kidding. But this medal was delayed. Anyway, what does this medal do? Basically gives you 4 gauges back, and the really, really cool factor is it's a tier 1 medal, which is a good thing because when you max out the guilds, you get 100 Nova. So add that to the 1 Nova that you get just for guilting the thing in the first place, and absolutely worst case scenario, you guilt the thing, it's going to cost you 15 mirrors to fully guilt this bastard out. and then you have 101 Nova for your 101 Dalmatians. Now you might be wondering, well, how do I get this awesome medal? Do you remember the Dalmatians from Kingdom Hearts 1? There were 33 chests scattered across each of the worlds, scattered across all the worlds, and inside them they each had about 3 puppies. So it's sort of like a scavenger hunt, quite like it was in Kingdom Hearts 1, except it's a little bit harder. I'm not going to talk about it too much here because I want to talk about it in a lot more detail when the medal is eventually released. But basically there are 99 unique versions of that medal right there. So you may have noticed in the album, there's about 130 or so additional spaces in the album. A betting man would have to say it's due to these guys right here, because you have 99 of those. A lot of those, I can't remember exactly how many right now, but 15 or so of those, maybe 18, or whatever it is. Anyway, and a few of the ones up the top right there as well, 3 different ones of those, plus that one, and then plus the big medal itself. There's a lot of album space taken up, so effectively, these medals are hidden literally everywhere. They're hidden in different quests, in like unique little chests. Like, again, this could all change from the Japanese version to our version, but let's say quest 129, for example, there might be a random treasure chest that has puppy number 1 in it. You don't get the same medal over and over again and then fuse them together to make that. You literally need each unique copy. So you need number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 hidden all over the place. And when you have those 6, you evolve them into that one up there. So there'll be one that looks like that, and it will be called puppies 1 to 6, or puppy number 1 through to puppy number 6, whatever. The point is there are a lot of those as well, and then you evolve 6 of those all together into that one all the way up the top there, which is like puppies 1 to 36, I guess it would have to be. So then you have puppy 36, puppy 37 to 32, 37 to 72, and then puppy 73 to 99. You take those 3 medals and you combine them with Pongo and Perdita, which again are hidden somewhere else as well. Finally, you have this medal right here. And then you take a deep breath and you go, God damn it, I never want to look at puppies ever again. I'm going to sell all my spare copies and finally reclaim all my bloody storage space. Again, I'll talk about these a lot more when I actually when they're released. But again, this should be very, very soon, given that they're in the album right now. You never know, it could be for Christmas. Christmas they could come out. But it could be tomorrow, who knows, It's freaking Cena, we never know what they're up to. That's pretty much it, guys. There are some medals that are in the Japanese version that we don't have in ours, and I think I will do like a part 2 to this version called like the missing medals, or the medals that were missed, something like that. Tell me what you want it to be called in the comments. But that's pretty much it for the medals that we're due to come out at. So you can see we're very, very close. There's only 4 medals that I believe that can be pulled that we don't have yet. I don't believe I've skipped any, but I might have. If I have, please put it in the comments and I'll feel like a massive idiot. Or actually, the second I press upload in this video, I'll probably realize that I missed one. But anyway, let me know what you think. Are you excited for the future of this game, where it's going to be this brave new frontier that the Japanese players have been facing the whole time, but a scary new world for us? Are you excited? People like me are going to be panicking because we're going to be going, this is a really, really good banner, I really like these medals, but what if there's better stuff coming out in the future? What if this is bait? What if that's bait? Everything's going to be bait, everything's going to be, do I spend, do I save? It's going to be a crazy fun time. Again, I'm pretty excited, but sad at the same time, because, I've done pretty well in this game by knowing what's coming out in the future, so it's going to be a bit of a kick in the butt, to me, let's say. But it could be just a thing that I need to really see even more enjoyment in this game. But let me know what you think, guys. Yeah, pretty much leave it at that. I'll see you really soon, and I hope you guys are having a really, really awesome holiday break. It's not Christmas just yet, but if it takes you a couple of days to watch this, then I hope you're having a really, really good holidays and good Christmas, or whatever you celebrate. And I'll hopefully see you guys before Christmas with some more videos. So, all the best, guys. Bye.